pode esperar dessa versão Charles, pai de dois?
Last week you announced that you're actually going to have your first son, and we know what happened last time when you had Tyler. After Tyler, 11 straight wins. So what's going to happen? Charles on a streak 2.0?
Fala, irmão, tranquilo, bom te ver. Cara, na realidade, eu já estava muito motivado, né? Estava muito motivado, muito focado, querendo continuar essa história gigantesca, essa história linda que Deus vem proporcionando para mim, se tornar campeão mais uma vez, deixar um legado. E aí Deus me deu esse presente maravilhoso junto com a Vitória, né? Que é meu filho, Dominique. E então, cara, você imagina, na metade do camp vem essa notícia maravilhosa. Então, por que não? Por que a gente não embalar com uma sequência gigantesca de vitórias? Sim, eu estou muito motivado, eu estou muito feliz, eu estou muito grato a Deus por tudo isso que vem acontecendo. Sou muito grato a Deus, muito grato a ela, por tudo que vem fazendo na minha vida, por tudo que vem me abençoando, me ajudando. A palavra-chave é gratidão, sabe? Eu estou muito grato por tudo que tem acontecendo. E eu só estou no caminho, como eu falei agora as últimas vezes, de verdade. Algumas pessoas estão falando que eu já tenho tudo. Não, eu não tenho nada ainda. Tem muita coisa para acontecer, tem muita lenha para queimar, tem muita história para acontecer, tem muitos sonhos para se tornar real.
I was already motivated. I was already focused. And, you know, midway through camp, I was ready in camp. And we're halfway through camp, and all of a sudden I get this blessing. And I get these news that this is happening. So I get this gift that I'm getting from God and from Victoria. And why not? Why not rock this boat? Why not use this and turn it into a streak? I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful for the opportunity God has given me, the opportunities that God has given me throughout, and then what the Victoria has brought to the table as well. It's just the word is being grateful. The word is to being thankful for this opportunity, and people say, I don't know, some people say sometimes, he's got everything, you got everything. Now, I do not have everything. There's a lot to be gotten yet. It's still, we still need to get a lot of things. There's a lot of dreams. There's a lot of aspirations. And there's a legacy in history to be put in.
Charles, you haven't lost a non-title bout since 2017, yet still people write you off. Does that motivate you to keep proving them wrong?
Oh, could you repeat that? Because I couldn't hear what you said. You said you lose something since...
So, Charles, you haven't lost a non-title bout since 2017.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Você não perde uma luta que não envolve uma disputa de título desde 2017. Muda alguma coisa agora, estando nessa situação? Como é que você se sente? Você é uma pessoa extremamente confiante.
Lutas são lutas. Todas elas levam aquilo que você quer. Que é com o seu braço levantado, se tornar campeão. Então não importa se ela é pela disputa de título ou uma luta normal como essa. Eu quero que meu braço seja levantado. Eu quero continuar aumentando esse legado. Quero levar a vitória para minha família, para todas as pessoas que acreditam em mim. Lutas são lutas.
Fights are fights. It doesn't matter what you're fighting for. You want to get that hand raised at the end. It really doesn't matter what's at stake. What you want is to win. You win for yourself, win for that legacy, to grow that legacy, win for all of those that have been with you all throughout, and for your family as well. So fights are fights. It doesn't matter.
Charles, on this card, the UFC has brought out all the records, the history behind every fighter on this card, and you could make a strong argument of the 26 people competing on Saturday, you have the best resume, you have the most records. What does it mean to you that you have all that behind you on a card like this? You stand out among all these fighters with all this history behind them.
Justamente pela ocasião, por ser o UFC 300, o UFC está soltando o currículo de todo mundo e mostrando as credenciais de todo mundo. O que as pessoas fizeram no UFC, os grandes conquistas e feitos, e se você pegar aquele currículo, você olha que talvez você seja o que tenha o mais tarimbado de tudo. Como é que você se sente, talvez ter o currículo mais completo e ter um maior histórico num evento como esse, cheio de gente, desse jeito? Cara,
são 14 anos aqui dentro, né? 14 anos que eu me entreguei na minha vida, 14 anos que eu acreditei num sonho gigantesco, então tenho que ser grato. Recordes, bônus, finalizações, número 1 do ranking, campeão. Eu sou muito grato, tenho que ser grato às pessoas que acreditaram em mim o tempo inteiro, que nunca deixaram eu desfocar, que sempre me manteram meu pé no chão, nunca me deixaram voar, sabe? Porque tem cara que não ganhou de ninguém e se acha tanto. Então, poder chegar aqui num UFC como esse, num card como esse, né? Ter um gabarito como esse, então, como eu falei, é só o começo, tem muita coisa para acontecer. sou muito grato a Deus, muito grato às pessoas que sempre me ajudaram e sempre me ajudou.
Obviously very thankful, and it's 14 years in the UFC. There's a lot that I've done. It's all the work that was put in. So, you know, it's all the wins, all the records, all the finishes, all the bonuses, and everything else. It's very thankful for the opportunities and for the fact that I was able to accomplish all these things, and for all the people that believed in me, and the people that were there all the way, and people that actually kept my feet on the ground. They didn't let me just fly away. There are a lot of people out there that haven't even once anything, and they're already talking a lot. So you have to be very grateful. The word is grateful, and to continue to be humble and be very thankful for the opportunity and for being considered. And that's how all those credentials come about.
Hi, Holly. Welcome, the final of 26 fighters. You're going to take us home today. This is obviously a huge fight. You've been no stranger to moments like this. Just when you got Kayla Harrison's name on this card, what was your first reactions?
You know, I didn't.
Microphone.
Thanks. It's a long day for me too. You know, I didn't know who they were going to have me fighting. We had been calling, and just seeing who there was, because it had been a while, and I was wanting to get back in there. And, you know, I saw a lot of people getting scheduled. A lot of the girls were already having fights coming up, and I was thinking, who else is there, you know? We saw 300 was getting full with all the announcements, and you know, I think one time in passing, my manager was like, "You never know. I mean, it could be Kayla," and which isn't something I always kind of thought maybe at some point in my, you know, martial arts career that it possibly could happen, but really wasn't anything that I really actually thought, you know, would be close or really come to fruition. But when they called, and that was the first I heard of it, was about probably an hour before everybody else heard about it, and I was excited.
Why did you decide to bring Chris Cyborg in for this camp? How did you find that beneficial, given that they kind of have different stances and different styles?
Yeah. You know, having another girl that's strong and my size and competed at the top level is always going to be a good training partner. So it's obviously she didn't come in to just stand as a righty and try and throw bombs or anything like that, but she's a very well-rounded fighter, and it was, you know, I have great training partners at home. I always have. I've been very blessed with being able to have good training partners and a good camp and a good team. But to have another female that's my size and of a, you know, a strong physique and give me that feel was great. I have nothing but positive things to say about training with her.
And okay, let's get this one out of the way now. Ronda Rousey has released this book, and she's made a lot of revelation. She said she was concussed when she fought you, had many concussions before. She should be known as the greatest fighter ever, et cetera, et cetera. What's just your reaction when you hear this? Do you feel like she's trying to take away from your win all these years later? Do you think this is accurate? Just give us your thoughts.
Well, so everything I say, which I'm sure people will just take parts of what I'm about to say and make it sound how you guys want. But I say this all out of respect. In order to have a big upset like that fight was, you have to have a dominant champion. So without her being so dominant, then I couldn't have been able to have such an upset. But with that being said, I was the better fighter. I was the better fighter that night. And every fighter at this point, if you've made a career of fighting, you've had a concussion at some point. you go back and look at some of my boxing fights and some of the things that I've done, I've definitely had some concussions. So I'll never sit here and use that as an excuse for any loss. And I think that it's probably just hard for her to really want to like maybe admit that I was just the better fighter. Was she so dominant and a good champion? 100%. I give her that. But she wasn't better than me, and especially that night.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Last thing on this fight, if you win this one, spoil Kayla's debut, the division's wide open, we've had title changes, Amanda's gone. Do you feel like you're right there? I mean, everyone's talking about what Kayla's going to be capable of doing, but what are you capable of?
I'm capable of holding that belt again, and no matter who is there, even if Amanda was still fighting, I would want to get that rematch as well. So no matter who has the belt, I know that I'm still capable, strong enough, healthy enough to be able to hold that title again. So that's my goal.
Actually, sorry, one more. What's your thoughts on Mike Tyson coming back to box Jake Paul?
I know a lot of people are worried about Mike Tyson. Some of them are saying, what about his age and stuff like that? But I think it's awesome. You only live once, and it's not like he hasn't been in there. He knows exactly what it takes to get in there. He knows what a fight is, and I love that he still has this passion that he wants to put out there, and I'm excited to watch him. I mean, he's still, he definitely is like, he's the fastest and most powerful at, you know, being like a heavier weight. You look at his like actual like speed and power. So obviously it's not the same as what he was, you know, when he was in his prime, but I want to watch it. I'm curious to see how it comes.
Right here. Looking back, I think before Kayla, you were really the last big like marquee free agent that they signed that was a female fighter from another sport, and you made your debut in LA as the co-main event against the current champion, and then now Kayla's making her debut at UFC 300 against the former champion. So I guess, what do you think's going through her mind? Like, because you're pretty much one of the only fighters that has done what she's doing right now.
From my mindset, I know the nerves that I felt going into it, but I still feel them to this day, because I feel like if you really don't care, then maybe you wouldn't be nervous, and that's when you need to worry. I know that there's a lot coming into it, not knowing exactly what to expect, but there's a reason why she's been at the top in more than one aspect of, you know, her journey. Is like, she's been in the Olympics and she's been in the PFL, so in order to be at the top and be a winner, she obviously knows what it takes. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, and she's a strong athlete. So I'm expecting a strong, tough Kayla. I expect her to be the best she's ever been, and I'm ready for it.
You said you always thought there might be a small chance that you'd face Kayla, but did you think you would be at 135 pounds, given that, you know, her career's been 145, 155?
No, I definitely didn't think it would be, you know, this soon or at 135. And I never even put that much thought into it. I just, you know, sometimes I would watch and just think, wonder if her and I ever, you know, cross paths, because that's happened a lot through boxing and MMA. I watch from the outside and I think, I wonder if I'll ever do that. And then, you know, I did it. It's, when I first started boxing, it's like, I wonder if I'll ever fight for a title. And then I fought for a title, and then 3 different weight divisions, and they say 19 times. I don't even know exactly how many times I, you know, defended and fought for belts, and that was crazy to me to think that. And then I said I wanted to be a champion in also MMA, and I was the first female to ever do it, and the only